Well, this morning I was thinking about trust and how oftentimes going into a situation we have a certain idea of how it should be, and when it turns out differently than we're expecting, if we trust that it's still going to be acceptable, then a lot of times it'll turn out in ways that we didn't expect. And how that can also be so applicable in our yoga practice. We oftentimes will have a hard time trusting ourselves that, should I try this? What if I fall? What if I make a mistake? And that's a lot of times what it comes down to, is that fear of making a mistake. And I've been having a lot of experiences the past few weeks where how I hoped it would turn out wasn't even near close to how it turned out, but it actually ended up being so much better than I had originally thought. And so I thought, okay, how are these situations different from the ones that seem to just completely fall apart? And I realized it was, even though things weren't turning out how I was expecting them, I was just trusting that, okay, this is going to happen for whatever reason, and so I'm just going to go with it and let myself make this mistake and then see what comes from that. And so today I thought it would be nice to play with that idea of, okay, I'm gonna try this little thing that may be a little further than I've gone before, and maybe I'll fall, and that's fine. Like, it's fine to make that mistake. It's not like you're doing something wrong. You're being that explorer, and you're allowing yourself to make that mistake, and trusting that you're strong enough to make that mistake, and then learn from it, and be like, oh, I came out of balance there. Oh, okay, well, that was because I opened my shoulder a little too much. Interesting. Okay, well, let me come back into that and still go a little further, but what happens if I don't open my shoulder all the way? Can I find that balance? And playing with the idea of trusting yourself that you can go a little further and maybe fall, maybe make the mistake, but it might turn out a little better than you were expecting in the first place. So, with that in mind, find a nice comfortable seated position, letting the eyes softly shut. Take a huge inhale in through the nose, let the belly fill up. And exhale, push the belly button back toward the spine, pushing out all that old stale air. Take a huge inhale in, reach the crown of the head a little higher. And exhale, let your shoulders, knees, and hips relax down. Take a huge inhale in for 3, 2, 1. Exhale out. 3, 2, 1. Continue this even breath. And as you do, just notice anything going on in the body, anything going on in the mind. And trust that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You've dedicated this time to yourself, so there's no need to hold on to where you're going after this, what came before this. Just trust that this moment right here with your breath is enough. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, bring them together and down in between the eyes. May your practice cultivate enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale in front of the mouth. May your practice cultivate enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale in front of the heart. May all of your practices cultivate an enlightened heart. Really pressing your palms together to feel every crease in your fingertips pushing in toward each other. Roll the shoulders back. Feel your shoulder blades pressing in toward each other. And then feel the crown of the head reaching a little longer or a little taller. And feel your belly spilling out with every inhale. Really pushing the palms in toward each other to feel active all the way through your back. Feeling your shoulder blades getting closer and closer and towards your spine. Feeling the crown of the head getting taller and taller. Take one more inhale in, get everything a little taller, press a little more with the palms. And then as you exhale, place your hands out in front of you and just start to walk out onto the earth, letting the head be heavy. And then walk the fingers over to the right side. Maybe if you'd like, reach those left fingers up into the sky. Very nice. Still breathing deep. And placing those left fingers back down. Head all the way through center. And over to the left side. Maybe staying here, just opening up the right side of the body, or reaching those right fingers up. You can let that left forearm be down on the earth, or you can reach long with those left fingers. Trusting that your intuition is correct. And placing that hand back down, coming back through center. And letting the head be heavy, roll up one vertebra at a time. And then grab your foot. Place your fingers down in between each one of your toes. And then just start to move your hand in a circular motion and just let each of those toes go, especially down through that pinky toe. We wear shoes so often and those toes get crammed in there. Then you can take your other hand, take your thumb and index finger around your heel, and make a circle all the way around your heel. We spend so much time on our feet. Let's give them a little love, a little flexibility, a little strength. And place that foot down and grab your other foot. Fingers down in between your toes. Roll in the wrist and hand, really getting down through that pinky toe. And thumb and index finger around the heel, like you're trying to undo a jar. And then release and bring your knees up into your chest, float your toes, roll the shoulders back, find that little balance in between your sit bones and your tailbone. Either staying here, maybe grabbing a peace grip around your toes, straightening the legs, maybe just straightening them as much as you can, and maybe taking them out to the side. Still shining the heart up. Maybe even playing little, rocking slightly from side to side, trusting that you can find that balance. If you fall out of it, don't worry about it. Half the fun of trust is that you're free to make mistakes. And then wherever you are, see if you can hold your legs right where they are, and then slowly release your fingertips. Nice. And then everyone bring the feet back together, point the toes, reach down towards your toes, maybe put a little bend in the knees, and breathe. Long inhales, long exhales, roll the shoulders back, shine the heart up, take the round out of the low back. Take an inhale in. Exhale, float everything just an inch up off the earth. Inhale right back up. Exhale, float. Inhale up. Exhale, float. Inhale just the right heel up, flex both toes. Reach the fingertips toward the right toes. Try and get your shoulder blades up off the earth and see if you can float that left heel just an inch up off the earth. Breathe. And then slowly, easily switch. Long inhales and long exhales. And then reach the right heel up to meet the left. Both fingertips down toward the toes, or up toward the toes, as it were. Same deep breaths. And then see if you can pulse with each breath. Those fingertips getting just a little closer to your toes. And bring your hands down to float just an inch above the earth. Take a huge inhale in. Lower the legs for a slow 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet in. Hip distance apart. Press the heels down. Lift the hips up. Tuck one shoulder blade and then the other. Come into bridge, or if you would like, come into a nice slow Urdhva Dhanurasana if you have a flexible back to release your core. And coming up to the balls of the feet, roll down one vertebra at a time. Bring the knees up into your chest. And then rock up and down on the spine. Head all the way back and all the way forward. And then as you're ready, when you roll forward, roll all the way up to your toes and forward fold. Big toes a little bit closer than your heels to slightly internally rotate. Maybe shaking the head yes and no. Releasing the torso, releasing any tension in your back. Transferring the weight a little more toward the balls of your feet. Then inhale, coming halfway up. Tuck the chin, feeling long. Exhale, reach with your fingers. Transfer the weight toward your heels. Inhale, lengthen a little more. Really engage and lengthen through the low back. And then exhale, pull against the back of the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, reach. Transfer the weight towards your heels. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull against the back of your legs. Transfer the weight toward the balls of your feet without gripping your toes. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, down. Take a moment to really release your low back, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe bending one knee and then the other. And then bend deeply into the knees. Keep the fingertips down on the earth. Notice if your knees are coming in toward each other. Keep them lined up with your heels and hips. And then inhale up, Utkatasana. Notice if you're sticking out the pelvis, pull it under. Transfer the weight towards your heels. Bring your heart a little higher to feel that work in your quads and not your low back. Relax the shoulders down. And breathe. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take the right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Push down with that left hand. Notice if the knees collapse in toward each other, or if the right knee comes out in front of the left, pull it back. Bend a little deeper into the knee. Save deep breaths. And then moving slow, maybe allowing yourself to wobble. Start to transfer the weight toward that left foot and trust that you can take that right foot slowly all the way back for twisting lunge. Same deep breaths, same long inhales and long exhales. Trusting yourself to explore. Transferring that weight back towards your left foot if you need to. Take your gaze back down on the earth to find that balance. And then slowly, carefully, bring that right foot back up next to the left. Hip distance apart. Very nice. Inhale coming up, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left elbow, right thigh. Push down with that right hand. Feeling long through the spine as well as the twist. Notice the knees if they're still lined up with each other and lined up with your hips. Deep breath. And then slowly transferring the weight over to that right foot. Send that left foot all the way back. Still breathing deep. Transferring the weight back to that right foot. Slowly bring that left foot all the way up. Breathe. Inhale coming up, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten the legs, lead with the heart down to the toes. Inhale, halfway up, feeling long. Exhale, plant the hands, either step or float back. If you're going to float back, head down to Chaturanga. Very nice. Inhale up, your back bend of choice. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale down to Chaturanga, shoulders way out, elbows in, float. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhaling down. Inhale through and up. And exhale back to child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes together. A few deep breaths. Trusting your body, your intuition, and listening to it. Maybe experiencing the unexpected and trusting it. And trusting that you know better than I do. So if you need to, come back here, coming into child's pose, taking a few deep breaths, and join us when you're ready. Interlace your hands behind your back. Place the crown of the head down, so start to lift the hips up off the heels. Try to not collapse into your neck at all. If this puts any pressure on your neck, then just take a few more breaths in child's pose. And then lift your wrists up and take your pinkies toward the earth for rabbit. Shoulder blades toward each other. And breathe. And releasing the hands down. Coming back, downward facing dog. Place your forearms down, interlace your fingers, except for the pinky, and come into dolphin. You can either stay here in dolphin and try to turn your gaze toward your hands, working on all the same muscles required for headstand, or if you'd like, place the head down, start to walk your feet in towards your head. Find your way up. Moving slow, finding your breath. For those of you still in dolphin, you can walk those toes out, forearm plank, and walk them back in, and breathe. As you're ready, everyone slowly make your way into child's pose. Just realigning the circulation from being either inverted or partially inverted. And then inhale, coming forward to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, knee to nose. Softly place the right foot down near the right hand. Place the left knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, shine the heart up. Exhale, rolling back, flex those toes, heart down. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale back. Inhale forward one more time. So as you exhale, place the hands on the inside of that right foot. Heel toe the right foot out to the edge of your mat. Bring your right heel out in front of your right knee. And then maybe come down towards your forearms. Take a few deep breaths. Now, since this is a day of trust and allowing ourselves to make mistakes, you can either stay right here, or some of you might want to play with a modified crow. So, Coming back up to your hands, take the right hand to the outside of the right toes, getting the inside of that knee up on top of that right shoulder. And then start to straighten the right leg to lift the toes of the right foot, coming up to the ball of that left foot, and then maybe trying to lift the left foot. Just play. It's a time of trust, allowing yourself to make mistakes, to try. Nice. And as you're ready, find your way back to the runner's stretch. And coming up to your hands, tuck the left toes, send that right foot back and up. Point the toe, let it fall over to the side, release that hip. And place the right foot down next to the left, or hold it up as you inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale knee to nose. Inhale that heel up. Exhale left knee, right elbow. Inhale that heel up. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale that heel up. Knee to nose, and softly place that foot down near the left hand. Place the right knee down and tuck the toes. Inhale, shine the heart out. Exhale, rolling back, flex those left toes. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale, rolling back. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale, rolling forward. Same as you exhale, bring the hands to the inside of that left foot. Let that left foot come out. Maybe coming down towards your forearms. And breathe. And staying here, or if you'd like, take that left hand to the outside of the left foot. Let that knee come up toward that shoulder. Start to straighten that left leg, lift the toes, and take the weight forward. Maybe just playing with coming up to the toes on that right foot. And as you're ready, coming back, runner stretch, and breathe. And then coming up to your hands, tuck the right toes. Send that left foot back and up. Bend the knee, let it fall over to the side. Inhale, straighten out that leg, maybe keeping it up as you inhale forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. And exhale back to child's pose. A little bit of play. And then notice if you were expecting to do something. And if maybe you didn't do what you were expecting, can you trust that either one day it'll happen or that you weren't able to do it because something else is going to happen? Not getting frustrated or annoyed. but just trusting that you are where you are for whatever reason. Inhale, coming forward to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Place it down near the right hand. And when you feel stable here with that ankle right under the knee, lined up with the hip, inhale up, crescent pose. Interlacing the fingers except for the index finger, pointing it up, and then maybe gazing up toward those palms, maybe slightly leaning back. And breathe. Again, trusting, knowing that the balance here is a little strange, and if you wobble, trust yourself. And slowly coming back forward. Take an inhale in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Push down with that right hand. Maybe reaching the left fingers down, right fingers up. Maybe taking that right arm behind your back. The left fingers slowly reaching for the right. Long inhales and long exhales. Breathing deep down into that tight, twisted diaphragm. Breathe. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, slowly unwind. Place the hands down. Place that heel down, but still trying to, the left heel down, so trying to bring the left hip toward the front of the mat. And then inhale up for warrior one. Pulling back on the right heel to engage underneath the right leg. If there's any wobble, take the right foot a little farther out to the right side. Creates a more steady foundation. And then inhale, straighten that front leg. Bring your torso parallel to the earth. And then maybe placing the fingertips down, maybe on that thigh or shin, just not on the knee. And think about that right hip coming back, left hip coming forward. Think about your belly button down toward the inside of that right thigh. Your chest down toward that knee, crown of your head towards your toes. Either staying here or let the left hand come down, lined up with those back left toes, and inhale the right fingers up. Same deep breaths. And again, staying here, or perhaps bending into that right knee, take the gaze down at the earth, take the weight forward and up, Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana. Notice if the left heel starts to head toward the right side, pull it back straight to the back of your mat. Stack that right shoulder on top of the left. Feel the right hip lifting. Engage the inside of that left thigh to get that left heel a little higher. Take one more inhale in. And then exhale slowly. Place those hands down. Place that left foot all the way back. Send the right foot back to meet the left and up to release that hip. Holding that right foot up. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Placing yourself for crescent. Make sure that that knee is right over that ankle. And inhale up. Finding all of that alignment, hips, heel back, pulling back on that left foot, engaging the core, relax the shoulders. Interlace the fingers except for the index. Maybe gazing up. Maybe arching back. Breathe through the wobble. Inhale, slowly straighten everything out. Exhale, hands to heart center. Right elbow, left thigh. Push down with that left hand. Reach back with that right heel. Maybe right fingers down, left fingers up. Maybe reaching that left hand back. Slowly reaching those right fingers for the left. And breathe. Long inhales and long exhales. Trusting that you have the breath. Trusting that you have the strength. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, slowly unwind. Place that right heel down, so trying to get the right toes toward the front corner of the mat. And then inhale up, warrior one. Take that left foot out to the left side if you'd like to feel a little more stable. To bring that right hip a little farther forward. Breathe. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, bring your torso parallel to the earth. Take a breath. And then hands down. Leading with the belly, chest, chin, crown of the head. Pulling that left hip back, letting the right hip come forward. Either staying here, the right hand lined up with the right foot, left fingers up. And again, staying here or bending into that left knee, take the weight forward and up. Keep reaching that right heel straight back behind you, stacking that left shoulder right on top of the right. Gazing down at the earth to make it a little easier, or gazing up toward that left hand to make it a little harder. And breathe. Try and get that right heel a little higher. Same long inhales and long exhales. And then slowly placing the hands down, bend into that left knee, send that right foot back. Send the left foot back and up. Pointing that left toe, holding it up. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. And exhale back to child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes together. Releasing down. Take an inhale in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and let it out. Huge inhale in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it out. Trust. I was pretty sure I was going to teach a really nice, easy class today. Obviously, that is not the case. But I'm trusting that intuition, trusting the breath, that for whatever reason, even though I'm very sore, I have done a lot this week, trusting that I have that breath, that I have that play, that discovery, And that even if perhaps I feel frustrated or angry or annoyed, this is still the experience that I should be having right now. Inhale, coming forward through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Point the toe, let it fall over to the side. Now you can stay here, or trust that the earth is there behind you and let that foot come all the way down, keeping that left leg straight. Reach the right arm up and over your ear. Beautiful. Push down with that right heel to get that hip a little higher. Take one more inhale in, spreading the fingers on the left hand. Bring that right hand back first, and then take that right heel all the way up into the sky. Exhale, bring that foot down right in between your hands. Place the left heel down, leading with that left arm, head up, warrior two. Heel lined up with that arch, pull the feet in toward each other, engaging underneath that pelvic floor. Relaxing the shoulders, tucking the hips forward. Breathing out over that fingertip. And then right elbow, right thigh, left arm up over your ear. Maybe reaching the right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Maybe reaching that left arm behind your back, right fingertips toward the left. Now for those of you that come into the bind pretty often, take that gaze down toward the right foot. And then just like we did earlier, transfer your weight toward that right foot. Bring the left foot all the way up to meet the right. Transfer the weight over toward your left foot, keeping that bind, really holding onto your fingers. Start to lift up off the right toes. Turn your gaze slowly forward. And then start to straighten that right leg. Beautiful. If you're in extended side angle, try to tuck that right hip a little more. If you're in bird of paradise, slowly place that right foot back down. Head all the way back. Extended side angle. And then on an inhale, everyone head back, peaceful warrior. Take the left hand behind your back, reaching for the inside of that right thigh. And then bring the right fingertips out in front of the right toes. Find that one spot, take the weight forward and up. Keep that bind, reaching for the inside of that right thigh to open that left shoulder a little bit more. And then see if you can float up off those right fingertips. Maybe bring the right hand towards your shin. And then slowly reach those left fingertips up. Breathe into that one spot, stopping anywhere along the way. And then maybe bending into that left knee, reaching for the top of that left foot. Be sure the foot is kicking straight up into the sky, not out to one side or the other. Come into full moon. Maybe releasing those right fingers and reaching them straight out in front of you. Deep breaths. Trust yourself. Allow yourself to wobble and fall. And then slowly, carefully, start to make your way back all the way to peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Exhale, reach with those right fingers and down to your Trikonasana. A few deep breaths. aligning every joint in the body. Same long inhales and long exhales. And then bend into the right knee, place the hands down. Send that right foot back, maybe holding it up, pointing into that toe. Take an inhale into plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up, and exhale back to child's pose. Let's take a few deep, well-deserved breaths. Just noticing what's going on in your mind and what's going on in your body. And then find a little more trust for yourself. A trust in of what you are capable, and a trust that you know yourself well enough to know exactly how far to push yourself. Inhale, coming forward to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up, point the toe, let it fall over to the side. Stay here, trust that the earth is there. Pushing down with that left heel, getting that left hip a little higher, reaching that left hand up and over, really pressing down with that whole right palm. Try to relax that right shoulder down away from your ear. Beautiful. One more inhale in. As you exhale, bring that left hand back first. And then inhale the left heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Placing it down right in between the hands. Place that right heel down, lined up with the left heel to that arch. And inhale, warrior two. Tucking the hips underneath you, grounding down through that pinky toe, but pulling the feet in toward each other. Relax the shoulders down and breathe. Left elbow, left thigh, right arm up over your ear. Maybe those left fingers down, right fingers up. Maybe the right arm behind your back. Those left fingers start to reach. And then maybe taking that gaze down right up to the outside of that left foot. Transfer the weight toward that left foot. Bring the right foot up to meet the left. Transfer the weight over toward the right foot. Keep that bind. Really hold on with the fingers. Lift the toes of the left foot. Start to straighten. And then start to straighten that left leg. And breathe. If you're still in the extended side angle, try to tuck that left hip a little more. Open that right shoulder a little more. Wherever you are, long inhales and long exhales. If you're in bird of paradise, slowly place that left foot back down. Use control. Use your breath. And then send that right foot all the way back. And everyone on your next inhale, heading back, peaceful warrior. Switch as you reach with the left fingers, bend with that left knee. Reach the right hand behind your back for the inside of that left thigh. Take the left fingers down. Weight forward and up. Using that right hand behind your back to open that right shoulder, to really stack that right hip on top of the left. Maybe floating onto those off of the left fingertips. Maybe bringing the hand to the shin. And then maybe reaching those right fingers up slowly. Maybe bending into that right knee so the toes are pointing straight up into the sky. Kicking into that hand with that foot. And then maybe releasing that left hand out. Play, allow yourself to make mistakes and wobble and fall and trust. And then ever so slowly, make your way back out. Bend into that left knee and head all the way back. Peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach with those left fingers. And down, Trikonasana. Let that right hip head back, left hip tuck under. Long inhales and long exhales. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, bend into that left knee, place the hands down. Send that left foot back and up. And then hold that left foot up as you inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. And exhale back to child's pose. Take a huge inhale into the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and let it out. Huge inhale in. Hold the breath. Open the mouth, let it out. Whew. Reconnect. A little deeper breath. Very nice. Inhale, coming forward through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Place it down in between the hands. Walk the right foot over to the left side of the mat. Place the right knee down, setting up for pigeon. And then if you'd like, you can bend into that left knee, reaching back with the left hand. You can use that right hand as support. And really try to keep your hips parallel toward the front of your mat. And maybe starting to get that foot toward the crook of your elbow. Or if you'd like, just make your way down, belly button toward that shin. And breathe. Maybe reaching that right hand up and back to the left. For mermaid. Keeping those right toes flexed. Trying to bring those hips toward the front of the mat. If you've come into mermaid and you'd like, you could take that right hand and reach back for that left big toe. And then take the left arm through and reach back for the left foot. Reach the right arm out in front of you. And then maybe up and back. Very nice. And then as you're ready, if you've come into any variation of pigeon, maybe just release that leg slowly and make your way down. Finding that nice deep breath. Notice if your chest is leaning toward that right knee, see if you can pull it back toward the right shin. Really keeping those right toes nice and flexed. And then slowly coming up to your hands, tuck the left toes, Send that right foot slowly back and up. Release that hip however you may. And then pointing that toe, straightening that leg. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Placing it down, walking it over to the right side of the mat, placing that left knee down. Again, if you'd like, you can reach back. Keeping those left toes nice and flexed. Maybe pulling that foot into the eye of that elbow. Maybe reaching the hand back. And again, maybe reaching back with that left hand for that right big toe. Right arm through. Left arm forward and back. Whatever variation you got on the other side. Take a few breaths, moving slow. And trying to bring that belly button right toward that shin. If you're releasing down, really flexing those left toes wherever you are. And if you're in any modification, eventually find your way down. I have no idea why this became such a challenging class, but I'm just trusting that for whatever reason, it is. Was it what I was expecting? Perhaps it wasn't what you were expecting either. Let's see what happens if we just trust and breathe. With every exhale, find something to release. Maybe it's a spot in that hip. Maybe it's a face muscle, a finger or toe. Or maybe it's just a thought. A spot of resistance, an idea. It will all be waiting for you at the end of this journey, I promise. There's nothing you need to do now except breathe. Slowly coming up to your hands. Tuck the right toes. Send that left foot back and up. Release that hip. Straightening out the leg, pointing that toe. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, our final Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Notice if your downward dog feels a little different now than it did at the beginning of our journey. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet. Turn the gaze forward, step or float to the front of the mat. Placing the feet down, straighten the legs. Nice forward fold. Notice if your forward fold feels a little different. Then heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat. Turn your toes out. Sink your hips down, elbows right in. And either staying here, or if you'd like, plant the hands down. Get your knees up over your triceps, bend slightly into your arms, and lift one toe at a time for crow. And then if you're still in the squat, reach the left hand out to the left side, and the right fingers up. And then right fingers right side, left fingers up. If you're in crow, meet us back in a squat. And then place the hips down, pull the knees in, and just roll all the way back onto your back. Pull the knees in, rock from side to side, release the low back. If you'd like to invert, maybe inverting again, go ahead and place the hands down, send the feet up over your head, and come into plow. Bring the hands high up on your back, and make your way up to shoulder stand. Otherwise, just bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall out to the side. Right hand to your heart, left hand to your belly. Have a nice few breaths in Supta Baddha Konasana. For those of you that are in shoulder stand, be sure that throughout this whole process, there's never any pressure in your neck. But see if you can bring your elbows a little closer toward each other. Really tucking your shoulder blades underneath you. And then see if you can start to take some of the weight out of your hands. Maybe just trying to hold yourself up with just a few fingers. Be sure there's no pressure in the neck. Or maybe releasing one hand down toward the earth. Maybe playing with both hands down toward the earth. Be sure the weight stays in your shoulders, triceps and elbows. And then as you're ready, slowly make your way back down through plow. Deaf man's pose, balancing your knees on your forehead. And roll down, one vertebra at a time. And then everyone pull your knees up towards your chest, reach to the insides of your knees and the outsides of your feet. Keep trying to keep your tailbone down on the earth. You can rock from side to side. With that same sense of play and exploration, bring the soles of your feet together. And then if you can wrap the eye of your elbow around your feet and pull your feet in towards your chest. I always thought moving around in Happy Baby was kind of funny because when we were babies, we could put our feet behind our head and laugh. Most of us put our feet behind our head nowadays and we are not laughing. But with that same sense of play, see if maybe you can bring your toes up towards your chin, your nose, your forehead. Breathe. And then slowly releasing the legs. Placing your feet down, hip distance apart near your sit bones. Push your heels down, lift your hips up, tuck one shoulder blade and then the other. Interlacing your hands, or if you'd like, take your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. For those of you that have a regular Urdhva practice, see if you can come down towards your forearms, reaching your fingers towards your heels. And then start to walk your feet towards your hands. And breathe. Beautiful. As you're ready, slowly coming up to the balls of your feet, rolling down, one vertebra at a time. And pull your knees up into your chest, rock from side to side, release that low back. Straightening the left leg out onto the earth. Press that heel down, and straighten the right leg up into the sky. If you can, grab a peace grip with those left fingers on the right toes. Let the right arm fall out to the side, and then pull the right leg over the body. And then bend the left knee, reaching for the top of the left foot with the right hand. And breathe. Letting that right shoulder release. Allowing yourself, this time as we cool down, to let go of any last remnants of tension, resistance. Just let it seep out of you. Taking deep breaths. And then slowly coming back through center. Straighten that right leg out, right heel down. Straighten that left leg out, grab onto that toe with a peace grip with that right hand. And pull that left leg over the body. Bend the right knee, reaching down for the top of the right foot with the left hand. Wringing out any of those last worries and trusting your breath, trusting your strength, trusting that you are where you are for a reason, even if it's just the reason that you're still breathing. And then ever so slowly, being kind and gentle, start to move back through center. Maybe giving yourself one last hug. And then extending out into our final Shavasana. Tucking one shoulder blade and then the other. If your tongue is connected to the roof of your mouth, release it. Just reach the crown of your head a little farther away from your body. Let your palms be up if you would like to receive, palms down if you would like to conserve. And then feel the weight of all of that work that you just did. The weight of all of your muscles, the weight of you, this physical you. And release that weight down into the earth underneath you. Just let it go. You need no longer be responsible for it. And trust that the earth can support you, that your breath can support you. Allow yourself this time of healing, this time of integration. Allow yourself just to be. Slowly find your way back. Notice how you're breathing. Either staying right where you are, or letting your thumbs slowly head over your fingertips, maybe flexing and pointing the toes, rocking the head from side to side, stretching your arms up above you, keeping the eyes softly shut. You can roll onto one side or the other and make your way back to that same comfortable seated position, or laying on the earth, finding a nice long spine. And notice if your breath is coming a little calmer, if your thoughts seem just a little bit further apart, and maybe there's just a little more trust. Inhale the arms out and up, feeling long. Bring the palms together in the energy of our whole journey. Exhale it all down in between the eyes to the third eye. May your life be filled with enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale in front of the mouth. May you always have the patience for enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale in front of the heart. May your heart have the healing it requires to live an enlightened life. Namaste. Take your time. There is absolutely no rush. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this surprisingly challenging class. I hope that you've perhaps found a little more trust, a little more willingness to make those mistakes. And as most of you know, these are all donation-based classes. For those of you here at the theater, there is a donation station on your way out. For those of you at home, there's a donation button on your screen. We ask that you honor the suggested $15 donation if you are able, or leave whatever you can. I hope that you will take some of this trust with you into your day, your week, your month, your life. And it is a brilliant one. Namaste. Trust and peace be with you.